Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 312, Saturday. Reigning middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis defends his title in a rematch against Sean Strickland. And Zhang Weili defends her strawweight title against undefeated Tatiana Suarez. UFC 312, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Buy it on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Welcome back, everybody. We made it to Friday. It's February 7th, 2025. Born on this date in 1953, former NFL linebacker Robert Brazile of Mobile. You know him as Dr. Doom. On this date in 1967, the fire at Dale's Penthouse Restaurant in downtown Montgomery killed 25 people. Now, in today's report, we have an execution, a rare whale sighting, and a legislative roundup. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Demetrius Terrence Frazier was put to death by the state of Alabama Thursday for killing Pauline Brown in 1991 in Birmingham, reports AL.com's Ivana Harinkyu. He was executed using the nitrogen hypoxia method. Now, there's still debate over nitrogen and whether it's more humane than other execution methods, and inmates have shown different levels of gasping and thrashing, something state officials have attributed to the inmates' efforts to hold their breath as the nitrogen is administered. So, here's the description of Thursday's execution from Ivana. Quote, about 6:11 p.m., Frazier started waving his hands in circles towards his body. About a minute later, his hands stopped moving. At approximately 6:12 p.m., Frazier clenched his face, his nostrils flared, while his hands quivered. He appeared to say something which was inaudible to the three witness rooms. His legs slightly lifted off the gurney, and he gasped. Then, his head rolled to the right side. Frazier exhibited sporadic gasping and shallow breathing until about 6:20 p.m. The curtain closed at 6:29, and his time of death declared 7 minutes later at 6:36. End quote. Alabama Department of Corrections Commissioner John Hamm said he believed Frazier lost consciousness when his hands and wrists stopped moving, and that the following breaths were involuntary movements. In 1991, Frazier entered Brown's home while she slept, woke her up, raped her, and shot her in the back of the head. He later said he shot her because he was tired of hearing her beg for her life. Not long after that, he was back in his native Michigan, serving a life sentence over sex crimes there, as well as the murder of a 14-year-old girl. Meanwhile, he was sentenced to die in Alabama. So Michigan sent him down here in 2011 to await execution. In recent weeks, his lawyers asked officials in Michigan, which doesn't have a death penalty, to help Frazier return there to serve out his life in prison. The Detroit News reported that Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer said yesterday afternoon that it was out of her hands. A video of a rare whale along Alabama's Gulf Coast is making waves on Facebook, reports AL.com's Patrick Darrington. The video was from Captain Bobby Kelly of Miss Brianna's fishing charter. He saw 2 right whales in Perdido Pass on Sunday. Now, it was a rare moment. It's estimated there are fewer than 400 right whales left in the world. Biologists who track the whales say the 2 were both North Atlantic right whales, making their sighting in the Gulf extra rare. They believe the 2 females were scouting places to give birth. According to NOAA's website, it's against the law to be operating a vessel within 500 feet of right whales. So, if you realize that describes you and your boat, NOAA guidance says to immediately set a course away from the whales at a safe, slow speed. You don't want to hurt an endangered whale or wreck your boat. If you were listening last year during the legislative session, you know sometimes we do a quick fire roundup of some of the noteworthy things that are happening right now on Goat Hill. Well, here are a few things you might be keeping up with. First, the full Senate passed the bill that defines male and female based on biological sex. There is a version in the House, and the governor has said she backs the effort. Another bill has been filed in the Senate that would exempt nursing mothers from jury duty. This is an issue that's arisen from several moms who claim they were harassed and threatened by Jefferson County judges because they brought their breastfeeding babies to jury duty. It would codify a recent order from the Alabama Supreme Court. Another Senate bill would raise the age at which people can make their own health care decisions from 14 to 18. Now, over in the House, a bill was unveiled that would require a display of the 10 Commandments in a common area of public schools, along with a context statement entitled The History of the 10 Commandments in American Public Education. And also in the House, there's a bill that would permanently establish Juneteenth as a state holiday. Now, you probably know it's already been a federal holiday since 2021, recognized every June 19th. In Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey has used proclamation to recognize it as a state holiday each year. This bill makes it permanent. Now, the bill also provides that state employees be given the option to observe either the new permanent Juneteenth holiday or Jefferson Davis's birthday, which is already a state holiday. Of course, then all your coworkers are going to know which one you picked. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. We're going to be back here on Monday. Have a great weekend and come by and see us anytime you want to. We're open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week on the World Wide Web at al.com.